The US Supreme Court held a special public hearing on Friday to consider what the White House have called policies that are critical to our nation's COVID-19 response. Two mandates introduced by President Biden's administration at the end of last year are due to come into effect in February. One is to ensure all companies of 100 or more staff have vaccinated employees or are testing them regularly. Another to make sure all healthcare workers at facilities with government healthcare schemes are vaccinated. A coalition of more than 50 businesses, religious groups and leaders of some Republican-led states has sued the Biden administration to oppose the mandates. They argue the federal government doesn't have the authority to introduce policies without Congress's approval.
I heard two consistent themes. One was a significant concern about Congress and the role of Congress in making this decision rather than an executive branch agency, an unelected bureaucrat making this decision. And then I think we also heard a lot of concern from the justices about whether OSHA had met the scientific and administrative standards necessary to issue this sort of emergency rule on such a massive nationwide scale.
The Supreme Court is not going to decide if the mandates are lawful, but if they can go ahead while lower courts continue to hear cases on them. Supreme Court justices have a conservative majority of 6-3, who favour state rather than federal mandates. A court representative says all 9 justices have been vaccinated and boosted themselves. Well, planned protests outside the Supreme Court were lightly attended today in the cold weather. But what's been discussed inside affects many people. There are more than 100 million workers at private companies in the US and another 17 million healthcare workers at facilities that are funded by the government. Many of them, of course, have already been vaccinated. A ruling on whether the vaccine mandates can proceed may take days, if not weeks, leaving companies unclear of whether they have to comply. In the meantime, the US has hit a new record high number of COVID-19 cases during the Omicron wave. And this week, a record number of children were hospitalized. Caroline Malone, CGTN, Washington.